I've been a diabetic too long. I'm sick of being a diabetic. I'm tired of it. Nobody's out there just going to pat me on the back and go, oh, it's okay. And that's not going to solve anything. Somebody's got to do something. Somebody's got to speak up and say something. Diabetes is getting to epidemic proportions. There's 1 out of every 3 people in this country either is diagnosed with some form of it, or they know somebody that is diagnosed with it, or they're related to somebody that has it. And they either go through it or they see what people have to go through every day. I mean, it's the #1 cause of blindness in the world. It is the #1 cause of limb amputations in the world. And it's the #1 cause of kidney failure in the world. And it's getting to epidemic proportions in both the U.S. and Canada. And primarily that's due to our diet, because type 2 cases are far outweigh type 1 cases. But, I mean, let's face it, type 1 or type 2 doesn't matter. You're both suffering from the same disease. You have the same problem. And they both can get really nasty real quick. And what a lot of people don't understand is type 2 can lead into type 1 if you don't take care of it. And type 1, well, it'll lead to death. But, you know, somebody's got to say something. Somebody's got to do something. I'm not going to let what happened on the first attempt stop me from doing a second attempt. I learned from the first attempt. I know what I have to do now, and I know what not to do. And that's just it. I'm not giving up. I'm not stopping.
Now, with all of that in mind, and you know everything that we've kind of gotten into, as far as things that happened on the first attempt for the hike, where do things currently stand now? Now, we know that there is going to be another attempt at the hike that's currently scheduled to launch April 9th, 2011. But where do things stand right now as far as the foundation itself? Like, well, what are we working with currently?
Currently, the one thing that I did that's really smart this time around is I have gotten a better executive team with me. I put some really good people around me, you being one of them. I've got some really class people with me now, people that can really help me out. One of the big problems I had the first time around was I tried doing everything. And, you know, I don't know how to do half of this stuff. I've never run a nonprofit organization before. So I needed help. And now I've got the right people in place that are helping me do all this and get it straight and get everything straight. I've got Amanda Donati that's helping me with the finances. I'm terrible with money. I'm really bad with money. So I got somebody in place that can actually take care of all the finances and keep it all straight. I've got you handling media relations and helping me with all the ideas and doing all the big stuff that needs to get done and helping me with a lot of the little stuff too. I've got Elisa Leshnick, my girlfriend, who's an IT person and is handling all the web stuff, as well as Jason Parker, who's my web host, and my co-webmaster, as well as Elisa. They're handling all the web stuff. I got my roommate, Ben Kloss, who is taking care of all of our graphics design and such, and doing all that. I've got Carmen Parker, Jason's wife, who's our spokesperson and is handling our volunteer. She's our volunteer coordinator, and she's also my chief assistant. She's helping out. And then I got Todd Podwowski, who he was helping me with the first hike. He's been with me ever since the beginning. He's an old friend of mine. He manufactured all our t-shirts, which we still have a bunch for sale. Just contact us on ultimatehikeforacure.com or uhfac.com if you want to get one. But he manufactured all the t-shirts, and he's our big ideas guy, and he's also my executive VP. He's helping us. One thing we're doing this time around, and this was Todd's idea, is he's been talking to an RV dealership about donating an RV to us, which that's going to be great. And we're going to have an RV following us. We're going to meet up with it every 4 to 7 days, which is going to help out a lot. It means I don't have to carry a 60-pound pack this time. And mind you, I walked 482 miles last time around with a 60-pound pack. That's a type 1 diabetic of 30 years doing that. This time, I'm hoping to be able to keep pack weight down to about 30 pounds maximum. because I won't have to carry everything all at once. Also, it gives me a place to store insulin. It gives me a place to go if there's extreme weather out there, very bad inclement weather, because nobody wants to be stuck in a tent during a tornado or a blizzard, you know. And it makes it somewhere where I can go every 4 to 7 days just to chill out, relax for a bit, regain my strength and energy to cover however many miles I'm going to cover the next week. Then also we are currently working on putting up an application on the website, an application process on the website to get other people to come with me. I'm not going to do this alone again. We're going to have at least 3 people in the RV, Jason and 2 other people, that'll be in the RV at all times. Hopefully we can find a nurse or somebody to go along in the RV, a medical person. But I'm going to have other people with me. And anybody that wants to go, please, these are the things we need for the application. I need your full name, first, middle, last name. I need address. I need phone numbers, email address. Email address is very important because a lot of the stuff we're doing is on email. I need a copy of your driver's license or state ID because I am going to do criminal checks, you know, background checks. I don't want some psychopath going on the hike with me. I need medical history, just so we know, just in case if you do get selected to go, we know exactly if you have any issues, you know, we know how to address them then and get you help in case something goes down. And especially if it's another diabetic that wants to go along. If you're selected to go along, then we know how to handle things. It's not, we're not going to be robbing you or anything like that. Social Security, we need your Social Security number. That's strictly for on our end for business purposes. Also, you know, for any legal issues that might happen. Hopefully they don't, but any legal issues that might come up, we have that. And also, you need to have a passport because we will be crossing into Canada, and you got to have a passport to get into Canada now. And the last thing that we need, and this is just for the application process, for the initial application, I need a 3-paragraph minimum 500 words.
Yeah.
Is that what we agreed on?
Yeah.
Minimum 500-word essay explaining why you would be good for the UHFAC, why I should allow you to go on the hike. Now, there's going to be 2 people making the selection process, myself and Wes. Are going to go through all the applications, make the selection process. If you are selected, we need to have your application, a copy of your application, and an email form of the application. I want both sent in by June 30th. And then the process, the selection process will begin, and you will be notified, what was it, July 20th? Is that what we decided on?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's July 20th.
Yeah. Keep in mind, dates are subject to change. We might actually bump them up by a month to allow for extra prep time.
But we will inform you both via email and by letter, snail mail, as to if you're going to go along or not. And then a training process needs to begin. Hopefully you can make it here to the Detroit area to train with us. Anybody that wants to come up during that winter time can come up and stay here during the winter time. We will make room for you. We will figure things out, but that will come later on. We'll figure that whole process out later. But we need to train together. If you're going to go on this hike, we need to know how each person works. We need to get to know each other. All right, I need to know the ins and outs of everybody because we're going to be spending a lot of time together because it's not like an overnight hike. It's not a hike that's going to take a week. We're looking at 8 to 14 months for this to take place. The other change is also, we're not going to go from Detroit again. I am not hiking through Detroit again. I am a native Detroiter, yes, but with the state things are here in Michigan, and especially in Detroit, you know, it's not a knock on Detroit. I love my town. I love being a Detroiter. I love being from this city. But anybody here will tell you things are screwed up. They're not good. And also, it was just rough hiking from Detroit.